Good day, this is Pepli the Yoga. If you are someone who sits a lot or walks long distances, this is a yoga pose for you. So I'm just going to go into the Thunderbolt pose. This is just to release all the tension in my body. This pose helps me to relax all my body muscles, especially my legs, my ankle, and my back. So you can do a variation of this Thunderbolt pose like I am. So you can edge your back more backward. This will stretch your spine and open those joints, your back joints, so that you do not feel pains at your back, at your lower back. So from my Thunderbolt pose, I just moved to my downward facing dog. So the downward facing dog, this pose stretches your hamstrings and also your back at the same time. So your hamstrings, which are the longest muscles in your body, from your ankles all the way to your top thighs. So this is a variation of a standing pose. So you're just gonna hold your knees as much as possible, stretch your back and also those hamstrings. So you can take your hands above your spine and try to reach your knees with your nose. This will give you a deep stretch on your lower back, your upper back, your neck, your shoulders, most especially your shoulders. And then you can just drop your head down and back, just relaxing all the muscles in your neck. And then again, I'm gonna go back to my downward facing dog. Just relax. You can swing side by side, left and right. You can try take your head down, and this is a variation of a downward facing dog. Just make sure you rest your elbows on the mat. And then now I'm gonna do the baby pose. Here I am, just listening to my body, controlling my breathing, and just taking it easy after a long day. Like, this is a pose I always do after a long day of stretching or a long day of walking. Then I'm gonna move to my standard sitting hamstring pose. So I do this on both legs. This also enhances the stretch in your hamstring. So one thing you're gonna avoid by all means is to have tight hamstrings. So this will make walking simpler, sleeping simpler, and it's gonna improve your overall pose. So what you can do, you can take your opposite hand to your back to make sure that you stretch also your hands and your shoulders. And this is just a sitting pose. This also stretches your hamstring and your back. So then I'm gonna change sides. I'm gonna do the standard sitting hamstring pose to the opposite leg. I'll start with the right, and now I'm just gonna go to the left hand side. So you try this on your mat. If you are still a beginner, it will be a bit difficult for your head to rest on your knee. It's also fine if your head is just floating in the air. And I'm gonna repeat what I did before, just to take the opposite hand and reach for the opposite hip. This stretches your shoulder. You can see my scapula there. Also stretches your lower back more intensely. Now I'm gonna move to the half split side bend, and then this pose is very effective in stretching your whole body, from your ankles, your knees, your hamstring, your thigh muscles, your back, lower back, your spine, your neck, your shoulders, your hands, like your whole body. So as you can see, my back muscles are flexing on this bodysuit that I am wearing. So I'm just gonna do this half split side bend on the opposite limb as well. And then to explain how to do this pose, you just gotta make sure you bend one knee and you put one limb straight, and then with the opposite hand you reach for the straight limb, and then you bend the other elbow and you just rest it on the floor. So this, just like the half split pose, is going to help you to get your side split. So this is your half split pose, similar to the one before. They target, they help you reach for your splits faster. So this is the half split. You make sure you rest your head on your knee, and then you just stretch those hamstring, and you make sure your toes are faced to your head or up to the ceiling. So this is gonna help you to get those splits, side split and middle split faster. So you're just gonna do this to the opposite limb, toes to the ceiling or to your head, and then you rest your head on your knee, and then you just stretch those hamstrings, and then you're just gonna hold this pose for however long you feel comfortable. For beginners, I'll recommend you to hold the pose for like 15 to 30 seconds, and then if you feel like your flexibility is intermediate, you can push to a minute, or then push to 2 minutes, 3 minutes, however long, according to your endurance. So I usually just do a minute each on each side. So yeah, this is your half split pose. And then from the half split pose, I'm gonna move to the lunge. This is your lower lunge, not like the lunge that you do in the gym, but also your thighs are gonna be stretched out, they're gonna be toned, and then it also reduces the cellulites in your thighs. And then to get optimal results with this pose, you're just gonna make sure you bend your head to as if you are reaching to the roof. You're just gonna bend your head backwards to stretch even your lower back. And this is also a variation of your lunge pose in yoga. This focuses on everything I've mentioned, but also targets your shoulders. If you do this, you're gonna feel like you're at a spa getting a massage, in that tense shoulders, those knots that usually hide at the back of our shoulders. You're gonna feel as if they're being melted away by this pose. So this is also another variation. Here you are, you rest both your elbows on the mat and you raise your knee up. Make sure you are comfortable with this pose. You look like you are just going to hold this pose for however long you feel comfortable in doing so. So from here, you're just gonna go back to your mat, rest your knees, go back to your Thunderbolt pose, or do the opposite lunge, or you're gonna do the same thing you did on the opposite limb to the other side. You're gonna start on your lunge. You're gonna make sure you take your head back to reach as if you're reaching for your lower back, as if you're looking up to the roof. Just gonna do this, stretch all your back, your hamstring, your thighs, your ankles, and your calves, especially your calves, your shoulders, your lower back. And then after that, you're gonna do variations of your lunges. Okay, raise your hand up to the roof, and then when you're done, you are going to rest both your elbows to the mat and raise your knee. So you're gonna see me after this pose doing the pose that I just explained. So yeah, try all those poses. If you're not comfortable with doing the variations for the lunges, you can hold on the first lunge that I did. So here I am now, resting both my elbows to the mat and raising my knee up to the ceiling. So variation pose are actually the complex poses of yoga. So if you are just a beginner or new, you're just gonna try the easier poses and you'll get comfortable with the variations of yoga as time goes on. So just start easy, don't be hard on yourself, and then as time goes, you'll be able to do the other poses. Bend your back, arch your back, and make sure your chest reaches to the mat. This opens your chest, improves your breathing, and then at the same time stretches your back, lower back, and your whole spine. So if you want to be comfortable in wearing your backless dresses, this is the pose to try. Make sure you tone that back and the abdomen, back muscles are out there flexing when you are wearing backless clothes. So from this pose, I'm just gonna go again to the baby pose. This you do it when in between yoga poses, when you feel like you are tired, you want to get your breathing, you want to rest a bit. So this is a pose for you. But it's not only a resting pose, it controls your heart rate. It makes sure you breathe normally while also stretching your thighs, but not bringing so much pressure into your body. So this is supposed to do when you're struggling with sleep or you want to sleep better. You can just do this pose. And then here I'm just gonna finish my yoga session with just lying on my back, controlling my breathing, just resting my knees to the side and make sure the palmar surfaces of my feet are touched against each other. And I'm just gonna place both my hands on my heart just to listen to it as it beats and also focus on my breathing. So I'm just gonna control it, and this is a very nice pose to close when you're done with your yoga session. So I'm just gonna finish my yoga session and I'm just gonna stretch my neck on my mat. Easy peasy, just roll my hair, my knees to opposite direction. And this is the last pose that I'm doing on today's yoga session. Make sure you try this fun, simple yoga flow at the comfort of your home. All you need is yourself and your yoga mat and you are good to go. Thank you if you've been up to this stage. Thank you so much.